Breaking on 4 News now at 6. A Coeur d'Alene jury just reached a verdict in the case of 5 Patriot Front members on trial for criminal conspiracy to riot. A live report in minutes.
We have nearly triple-digit temperatures on the way for Friday. I'll let you know how much hotter it's going to get and how long it's going to last in your first alert.
And the push to conserve water in Coeur d'Alene. What restrictions the city is considering. You're watching 4 News now at 6. Breaking news out of Kootenai County. Guilty, that's the verdict from the jury for these 5 Patriot Front members. Thanks for joining us. I'm Aaron Luna.
And I'm Kirsten O'Connor. They have been convicted for criminal conspiracy to riot. They were 5 of the 31 people arrested last year who were found in full riot gear. In court today, 2 of the men admitted they were heading to a pride event in Coeur d'Alene. Let's send it out live now to Natalie Grant with the latest from the courtroom.
Well, Aaron, Kirsten, within the last 15 minutes is when that verdict came down. Jurors only deliberating for about an hour before finding all 5 of those men guilty of criminal conspiracy to riot on that day in June. Now, yesterday was when the state rested their case after calling numerous law enforcement officials that responded to the scene that day to the witness stand. And today it was the defense's turn. We heard from 2 of the 5 men. It was Devin Center, who's from Arkansas, and Robert Whitted, who's from Texas. The men spoke about their intentions that day, keeping the phrase peaceful and political demonstration at the forefront. Both men said they'd been members of the Patriot Front for multiple years and had been to demonstrations like this before in other parts of the country. They confirmed that day in June, their target was the Pride Festival, specifically an all-ages drag show that was taking place. Now, in the closing arguments and throughout the trial, the defense said these men did not commit any disruptions of the peace or violent encounters, and the prosecution did agree with that, but said that this trial was one for conspiracy, not for actually carrying out rioting actions. And of course, as we know now, that is what the jury decided to go with those guilty verdicts reached just about 15 minutes ago in the courtroom behind me. And of course, we'll bring you any updates to this case as they become available and as far as what next steps are. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene tonight, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Natalie, thank you. Also breaking tonight, Washington State Patrol is investigating a fatal crash in Meade.
It happened near North Market Street and Highway 206, about a block east of Highway 2. Rania Kaur is there live tonight with what we know so far. Rania?
Aaron, Kirsten, we do know one person was killed in this crash that happened around noon between a dump truck and a bicycle. For more context on where this is right across from the Yolks Fresh Market in Meade. Mount Spokane Park Drive going westbound was closed on Market Street for several hours, but all roads have since reopened. The Washington State Patrol is still investigating this crash, but Captain Jeff Otis says that with this fatal crash included, we've had 85% more fatal crashes this time of year as compared to 2022. They're asking everyone to don't drink or drive, slow down, and wear your seatbelt to slow this trend down. As we learn more information, we'll continue to keep you updated right here on KXLY and on our website at KXLY.com. In Meade tonight, I'm Rania Kaur, 4 News Now.
Rania, thank you. Well, we all need to be prepared for near triple-digit heat tomorrow.
Now, the big question on everyone's mind is how long is it going to last? We'll send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. You have the answer.
Yes, I do. And there is some cooler weather on the way. Slow cool down. But first, let's take a look at our high temperatures today. We did get into the triple digits in some locations. Lewiston, Ritzville, Moses Lake, and Omak. 97 in Spokane. We've been 97 3 times now. That's as warm as it's been. It looks like we may beat that by a degree or 2 tomorrow. 96 in Coeur d'Alene for a high. Very, very dry air across the region. This is really going to become a factor as we get into the weekend and early next week, and we start to see our winds picking up a little bit. 12% relative humidity in Spokane, only 17% relative humidity in Pullman and Coeur d'Alene, 11% in Grand Coulee. And we are going to see our wind gusts picking up a bit tomorrow. It's been so calm the past several days, but we're going to look at wind gusts close to 20 miles per hour, perhaps even a little bit above tomorrow afternoon, and that's going to continue to be the case each afternoon through the weekend, with even stronger winds anticipated early next week. In the meantime, one thing you're going to notice right off the bat tomorrow is the heat. We'll start the day off in the 60s, but head up to a high of 98. 86 is our average high. I'll tell you about the cool down, a very minor one for the weekend, and the concern about fire danger in just a few minutes. Kirsten?
Thank you, Chris. And as hot and dry weather continues, drought is spreading across the inland Northwest. Our team of weather experts is tracking the changes. New at 6, meteorologist Matt Gray explains why this drought could be with us for a long time.
You got to bail, guys.
We will get back to that shortly. Well, we do know that more cities are going to start to consider water restrictions as river levels continue to drop.
One of those cities is Coeur d'Alene. Our Marissa Rio is in Coeur d'Alene with what those restrictions could look like. Marissa.
In Coeur d'Alene, there are a lot of pretty green lawns and flower beds in front of people's homes. That doesn't happen without water. But because of excessive use, the city's water department is urging residents to cut back. While driving through Coeur d'Alene neighborhoods midday, it's hard not to spot just how many homes have their sprinklers left on. This may seem harmless, but it could lead to consequences later.
Eventually, we'll end up like other areas that are out of water.
The city pumped over 780 million gallons of water in June. That's 350 million more gallons than June of last year. Coeur d'Alene has 11 wells that it receives its water from. Most come from the Rathdrum Prairie Aquifer. Right now, all pumps are being used. The city's water department said nearly 75% of water usage is from irrigation. One resident spoke to us about the possibility of mandated lawn watering restrictions.
Drinking water is scarce, and it's going to get more scarce. And the more we put some on grass, the less we're going to have to drink in the future.
One issue with irrigation systems is they're not very efficient.
Water that you're putting out there, you're wasting 60 to 70% of that water just to water your lawn.
Pickles said the city needs to act now, or rules will have to be put into place.
We may be forced in the future to do like some of our neighboring water systems have, and that's enact ordinances to prevent watering during hot times of day, possibly odd evening watering.
The hotter climate does play a role in increased water use. Pickle told us to conserve water, residents should refrain from watering their lawns between 12 and 6 because that's when it's the hottest. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
And speaking of those warm temperatures, let's send it back over to meteorologist Matt Gray, who's talking more about the drought and why it could be with us for a long time. Matt.
All right. Thank you, Kirsten. Now, it could be as small as keeping your plants alive or as big as wildfire smoke spreading across an entire continent. Either way, drought affects us all in some form or another. And the drought that you can see behind me appearing now across the inland Northwest looks like it is going to be here, as Kirsten said, for a long time. Now, it wasn't that long ago that we weren't even thinking about drought at all. See, on the far side of your screen there, well, at least what is supposed to be, that was our drought map in January. Spokane just ended up having 6.62 inches of moisture in November and December. So we thought we were all good, right? Well, since the calendar flipped to 2023, not a single month with above normal rainfall, and it has taken almost 7 months to just get just above where we were in the last 2 months of last year for the same time. In the near term, the concern is fires and water levels. Rain in the last 3 months, well, it's downright pitiful. Even west of the Cascades, especially west of the Cascades. It may only take one storm system to come through here, drop some lightning strikes, and fire season is going to get even busier than it is already in a hurry. Now, the lower the rivers get as well, the more water restrictions we'll end up seeing, and the more likely we could see algae growth later this summer. We saw that in 2021, and the Spokane River today is at less than half of the normal flow in late July at a similar pace to what we saw in 2021, and not too far away from that low in 2015. But that's just the short term. The long term, that's something we got to worry about too, because this drought could be with us well into next year. Well, it's supposed to be on your screen, but why you should blame El Nino. History shows that El Nino gives us drier and warmer fall and winter months. If you could see that behind my obvious mess ups on the screen. Now, if that does end up happening this time, there's going to be a lot riding on spring rain in 2024. In other words, if we don't see some improvements here, drought could be measured in years this time instead of months. Kirsten, back to you.
Thank you, Matt.
Spokane already has water restrictions in place right now. You can't water your lawn in city limits between 10 in the morning and 6 o'clock at night. So you're also you're allowed to do it every other day. Monday is a no watering day for anyone. Right now, we are in what the city calls an education period, and that will last a couple of years, and there's no penalty for not following the ordinance.
And because of the extreme heat, the city of Spokane is opening its cooling centers through Sunday. 6 Spokane Library branches provide a cool space, water fountains, and free Wi-Fi. The Trent Resource and Assistance Center has food and water for people during heat waves. STA buses will offer free rides to and from those cooling centers if you can't pay the fare.
We've learned that the famous Spokane mountaineer Dawes Eddy died of natural causes. The Pierce Medical Examiner saying he died from hypertension and heart disease. He died during a trip to the top of Mount Rainier last month. Eddy was an expert climber and at one point was the oldest man to ever climb Mount Everest. Eddy was 80 years old and a beloved cornerstone of the Spokane hiking community. Still ahead, the traffic nightmare on Freya Street could soon be coming to an end when the city expects repairs to be complete and the unexpected consequences it had on the area. Plus,
track live radar on the 4 News Now weather app.
Xavier Green and Jennifer Thompson in service.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
There's nothing like a fresh coat of paint to transform a home, a room, or a piece of furniture. No matter the project, the folks at your local Ace Hardware store are here to help you with all your paint needs. With our wide selection of premium brand paints and accessories, the experts at Ace will make sure you have everything you need to complete your paint project, no matter how big or small. Come see us today.
Hi, Kylie here with Dad at Parker Toyota. We know finding time during the busy week to schedule your service maintenance can be difficult. That's why we've expanded our hours. We're now open Sundays.
Schedule your oil change, brakes, and other maintenance needs at your convenience online, parkertoyota.com. Our highly trained technicians can get you in and out with our express service.
Experience the no-problem sales and service 7 days a week at Parker Toyota in Coeur d'Alene.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move.
Let's go!
With everyone getting ready for summer and a new gym opening soon in Spokane, there's never been a better time to join.
Shop local at the Tin Roof.
The sound of construction continues to ripple along Freya Street. Crews are working to repair multiple breaks to a water main that burst last Wednesday. Tonight we're learning there have been additional breaks to other water lines in the area. That's going to extend the project.
It is creating frustration for neighbors and drivers who continue to deal with construction projects along that busy traffic arterial. This project has shut down 12th through 17th Avenues along Freya. And that's where our Jordan Smith joins us tonight with the impact of this extension and if there's an end in sight.
Well, one of the unintended consequences of this project here behind me is that one family tells me they haven't had sanitation services since this project began, meaning they've had trash piling up because garbage trucks can't access their home. In the scorching heat, construction crews continue to hammer away at repairs that shut down Freya last Wednesday. It started as one water main break, which then led to a sinkhole. Now, multiple other breaks have developed.
Water pressure that goes through those pipes is so high because we're pushing it uphill, and so when we have to reroute because of those breaks, a lot of times it can cause other issues with other pipes.
In total, there have been 4 breaks along water lines extending this repair work.
I didn't expect it to be out this long.
Neighbors with a front row seat to this project are growing tired of the noise, the detours, and construction on Freya altogether.
The water's been turned off twice this week. One time for about 8 hours, the other time for about 6 hours.
Some homes alongside Freya are still waiting to receive sanitation services since this project began, a problem that the city is looking into.
Well,
Chadwick's family says
Freya,
at least their trash services have stayed consistent, though it's looked a little different.
Yeah, that looks like it's been fine. I think they're actually backing down the street. Instead of coming down and trying to turn around, they actually have to back down all the way and then work their way back up.
But fortunately, crews are making progress.
Our focus is to get Freya back up and drivable. We're hoping to have that done mid to late next week.
From there, they'll work to repair the other breaks that were discovered near Freya. On the South Hill tonight, Jordan Smith, 4 News Now.
Here's what people are clicking on most at KXLY.com. Well, these homes are all less than 400 square feet. They're known as tiny homes. Homes like these are gaining steam in our area as housing costs continue to rise. This year, owning these types of homes in Washington became much easier. Governor Jay Inslee signed a bill into law removing barriers when it comes to building these kinds of homes. But there are some things you should know before you buy. Hear from an owner of a tiny home in this story online. You can find it KXLY.com.
Well, finding affordable housing in the Inland Northwest is now more difficult than ever, turning our housing crunch into a crisis. And that's why we recently devoted a half hour to see what's driving up costs and what's being done to solve this problem. You can watch our full Inland Northwest housing crisis special right now on the KXLY Plus app.
Great weekend for camping, but you're not going to find much cooler weather. We're going to be in the mid-90s on Saturday, lower 90s on Sunday at Trout Lake Campground. That's in Colville National Forest up around Kettle Falls. Plenty of sunshine and not quite as breezy up in the mountains as what we're going to be dealing with down in town. I'll talk more about that after the break.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mysticwa Casino Hotel in Chewelah.
My parents started their first dealership in Coeur d'Alene in 1983. They took pride in being locally owned and work hard to help this great community we call home.
Now, 3 generations later, we're still proud to be one of the last locally owned Subaru dealerships. And we're working harder than ever to give back to the community that has supported us all these years.
Because we're looking forward to being your local family Subaru dealer for generations to come.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you.
In 1980, Walker's Furniture opened their first store. So this week, they're celebrating their 43rd anniversary with store-wide markdowns of 19 to 80% off. Where every dining room set, every bedroom set, every sofa, love seat, and sectional is 19 to 80% off. Or take advantage of no money down, no minimum purchase, no interest financing for 5 years. So you can get that new purple or Beauty Rest mattress set today and pay for it later during the anniversary sale at Walker's.
Welcome to the Summer Roundup this week at Cal. Over 300 rigs have been strategically priced low, and $44 down is all you need.
We're not horsing around with these special buys.
This week at the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights, Spokane, and Coeur d'Alene.
This is your summer to smile.
to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and serve up great times. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Right now, new patients without insurance get a free full exam and x-rays. Plus, everyone can get 20% off their treatment plan. But hurry, because while these summer savings won't last, the memories you make together will. Aspen Dental. Book today.
It is a very warm evening across the inland Northwest. We're in the mid-90s in both Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Reporting partly cloudy skies at the airport. You can see on our Skycam just a few clouds out there. I was excited. It's been a while since we've seen any clouds passing through. It is just this little narrow band that it'll be drifting through right around sunset. Should make for a more interesting sunset than what we've had, but that's about all the excitement we're going to get because it's going to be mostly clear tonight. 63 degrees for an overnight low with light winds. Tomorrow, hot and sunny. 98 for a high. We've had 3 days at 97, including today. So that would make it the hottest day of the season so far. Wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour in the afternoon. And each afternoon through the weekend, our winds are going to pick up a little bit. I'll show you why in a moment. Really, this time of year, as dry as things are, as hot as it's been with our fire danger so high, any kind of a breeze can be a concern if we have any fire starts. Here's what's going on. We have a ridge of high pressure over the northwest. We're hot and sunny, and we're going to continue to be for Friday. But we also have this approaching area of low pressure with some cooler air along with it. As that gets closer, we're going to see our winds picking up. Things will be breezy each afternoon, Saturday, Sunday, and then eventually we're going to see our winds really start to pick up on Monday and Tuesday. Firefighters have already got those days in their sights and are ready to pounce if we get any fire starts so they don't get away from them. We're also going to get some of that cooler air slowly seeping in Saturday, Sunday, and then a little more noticeably as we get into early next week. We'll be back around average, perhaps even a little below. Here's our current thinking on our temperatures. White line right here is average, and we are in the hottest time of the year. We're going to see that dropping down to 88 on Monday and then a little below average Tuesday through Thursday. That is not the trend going out 8 to 14 days, but a brief cool down I think will be welcome. So breezy and hot through the weekend. Then we're looking at windy conditions Monday and Tuesday. Fire danger, a big concern. Wednesday, Thursday in the comfort zone, 82, 84. That's more like it. Overnight lows down in the 50s with calmer conditions. And I think we'll all enjoy a little break from the heat before it looks like things will be warming up again. Kirsten?
Any break's a good break. Thank you, Chris. Well, today the Spokane Community-Oriented Policing Effort, better known as SCOPE, led a team of volunteers to transform the valley.
Well, several teams painted over graffiti and picked up trash in vandalized areas. 4 News Now's Allison Martinez got to speak with the people behind the transformation.
Patches of graffiti like this lined the Spokane Valley. That's why today SCOPE coordinated a group of volunteers to help clean up the vandalism. Thursday morning, over 70 volunteers met at the Spokane Valley Precinct to take matters into their own hands and beautify the valley.
We heard that the community was looking for people to go out and paint over spray paint, and we were super excited to step in and help out.
Spokane LDS, Horizon Credit Union, STCU, and more transformed 8 different vandalized locations on one of the hottest days of summer.
It's been amazing making new friends, having a good time, cleaning up our area and making everything look good again.
Horizon Credit Union had a large team volunteering. They say they especially felt appreciation from those who had vandalized businesses.
It does kind of hinder their confidence and everything like that, so they enjoy seeing it being all done. It looks clean and awesome, so they're very appreciative.
SCOPE recently started the new graffiti program. Citizens can call when they see it, and SCOPE partners with the Valley to clean clean it up. They say that visible graffiti encourages more graffiti, creating urgency for the cleanup.
We want to try to get this graffiti cleaned up as soon as possible. We're trying to deter crime and just keep our city clean.
Scope urges citizens to report any graffiti that they see. You can do so by calling Crime Check. By the end of the day, patches of property that were once covered with graffiti now look good as new. Reporting from Spokane Valley, Allison Martinez, 4 News Now.
Health experts are concerned our already historic drug shortage is going to get worse, why a tornado could be to blame. Next on 4 News Now at 6.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
Welcome to the Summer Roundup this week at Cal. Over 300 rigs have been strategically priced low, and $44 down is all you need.
We're not horsing around with these special buys.
This week at the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights, Spokane, and Coeur d'Alene.
It's the biggest anniversary sale in the history of Walkers as they celebrate the opening of their first store in 1980 with the largest store-wide discounts ever offered, where you can get wall-to-wall savings for every room in your home, anywhere from 19 to 80% off, or take advantage of special 5 years no-interest financing.
This is the one sale our customers wait all year for.
And your chance to save like never before, including accessories and decor.
This week at Walkers.
The factory-supported Summer RV Show, July 27th through 30th at the Spokane Fairgrounds. Beat the rush. Preview units. And get pre-show pricing now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake in North Spokane. Every RV at R&R RV is show priced now. Some units up to 50% off. Save thousands on remaining 2022 models. R&R RV is your RV superstore. Why wait? Get pre-show pricing now at R&R RV in Liberty Lake and North Spokane. Or shop now at rnrrv.com. We've got the Wonder Years. We've got Cruise Summer. Woo! Your hands clap. Yes. Your hands clap. I don't know if you could tell, but she ready.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and of course you can't become, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. See your hometown Chevy dealer today.
Your child's eyes are a crucial part of their learning. Get a clear picture of their eye health and vision changes from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Visit Shopko Optical to ensure your child is seeing and learning how they are supposed to.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
Wow, this EF3 tornado tore through North Carolina for 16.5 miles. At least 16 people were hurt, and a Pfizer manufacturing plant was damaged. Now people are concerned damage to that plant could make the already historic drug shortage even worse.
Well, that plant was one of the largest makers of sterile injectable drugs in the world. It also supplies more than a quarter of those types of medications in U.S. hospitals.
Sterile injectable is really any drug that you give by IV, and it affects lots of aspects of American healthcare, from the operating room with anesthesia to infectious disease.
A doctor from the University of California says there are several key factors contributing to the shortages, including increased demand, scarcity in raw materials from overseas, and a lack of transparency in the supply chain. Labor strikes could soon make it harder to receive packages, take a vacation, or just watch TV. Members of the UPS Teamsters Union are staging practice picket lines. American Airlines flight attendants are set to vote on a strike authorization this month. And unions for writers and actors say streaming services are undercutting their pay.
Now, as it relates to writers, I think they can more easily be replaced by artificial intelligence.
We know how much money UPS makes because we literally make it for them every day.
For UPS workers, an August 1st strike is looming. The company says it's ready to up its offer on pay and benefits. Talks are set to resume next week.
New at 6 o'clock, a new bipartisan bill in the Senate targets insider trading at the Capitol and White House. The measure would ban any member of the executive or legislative branches from trading individual company stocks. It would also forbid their spouses and dependent children from doing so. It is similar to a bill already proposed in the House. Still ahead, former President Donald Trump could be indicted once again as early as tomorrow.
What charges he could face coming up on 4 News Now at 6:30.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Hi, I'm Gabby Lemieux, inviting you to join me for the Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA at the beautiful Circling Raven Golf Club. The tour's mission is to prepare the world's best female professional golfers for a successful career in the LPGA.
Circling Raven Golf Club has once again been chosen to host this women's professional golf tournament August 21st through the 27th. More than 150 pros from over 30 countries will compete for shares of the $200,000 purse.
The Epson Tour, Road to the LPGA, brought to you by Circling Raven Golf Club and 4 News Now. I'll see you right here.
With prices of natural gas and propane skyrocketing, your heating bill is getting out of control. But before you turn down the heat, give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. They have the latest in dual fuel technology to keep your family comfortable and utility bills low. And there's never been a better time to upgrade, because now every furnace purchase comes with a free heat pump. So call Bill's Heating today to get your free heat pump while supplies last.
This summer, happiness is a new Chevy. You can go farther, tow more, and bring along everyone you love. Your road to happiness begins in a new Chevy. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT Turbo Max pickups, or get $4,250 total cash allowance when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Global Credit Union got its start right here at Fairchild Air Force Base and now has branches worldwide. We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Fridays.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now is joining Global by inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces. Tell them and their families thank you for your service and for protecting our future.
Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
Next ET.
It's like a dream come true.
Jamie Lynn Spears' Zoe returned 15 years later, acting alongside her 2 daughters.
It was like a really proud moment for me as a mom.
Next ET.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
This is the Kelly Clarkson Show.
Summer's here, y'all. Give your day a little Kelly. I'm so ready. You are so
Watch Kelly weekdays at 4 and 4 News Now at 5. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Let's take a live look over a toasty night in downtown Spokane. It is only going to get hotter tomorrow. Some people are doing the cherry pickers trot and spit tonight.
Oh, that's tonight? Yeah.
I know some people there.
Did you tell them to stay hydrated?
I did, of course.
Well, today was warm. Tomorrow could be the hottest day of the year so far. Let's send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker with that first alert forecast.
Well, we'll only get that designation by 1 degree. 98, the forecast high for tomorrow in Spokane. We've hit 97 3 times. So tomorrow may just barely be the hottest day of the season so far. We'll be 98 in Bonners Ferry, 96 in Coeur d'Alene, Pullman, and in the triple digits in many locations. Again tomorrow, right around the Spokane area, 100-degree heat at 9 Mile and Meade, 100 in downtown Spokane. That's easy to believe. 99 in Spokane Valleys. And then we're going to start to see things cool down a little bit. We're also going to see our winds picking up a little bit. Now, it isn't going to be much. Here's a look at our forecast wind gusts through the day on Friday. In the afternoon, we'll start to see wind gusts in the 15 to 20 mile per hour range in many locations. However, With our fire danger so high, any fire starts with that breeze will be a big concern for firefighters. Here's your Friday forecast. Otherwise, blue skies and sunshine, a high of 98 degrees. We do have some wildfire smoke around the region that may create a bit of a haze on the horizon, but our air quality has been in really good shape. We're going to check in with our friends down in Phoenix. Another record day. I'll have those numbers for you, plus your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Fire destroyed a home in Malden this afternoon. Firefighters kept it from spreading, though.
Fire crews say hot, dry weather, though, makes fighting these fires even more of a challenge. And our Bronte Sorotsky spoke with the fire officials in Malden about signs to look out for during the hot, dry days.
The town of Malden works to get back on its feet. A fire ripped through this home on Thursday afternoon, completely destroying it.
The Malden fire station burned down and their trucks were in it, and so they've had to start from scratch.
3 years ago, a fire nearly destroyed the small city in eastern Washington and took down the town's fire station. Now, nearby Whitman County fire stations are stepping in to help.
They have quite a few new members who are still in training, but it's always helpful to have other agencies come in and support you.
Although this home is a complete loss, fire crews say they were able to stop it from causing any additional damage.
There wasn't much that they could do to that. They did manage to save the fifth wheel that the residents will be using to reside in at this time, and they prevented the spread from getting to other structures as well.
With these hot and dry conditions, Whitman County's fire chief says battling these kinds of fires is even more difficult.
Definitely puts a lot of strain on the firefighters. We do tend to take more frequent breaks, lots of hydration, remove heavy clothing to keep cool.
Right now, the cause of the fire is under investigation, but fire officials are still warning the public to take extra caution. County's fire chief advises that during this hot, dry weather we're experiencing to always keep a source of water nearby and be aware of any burn bans in your area. Reporting in Malden, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
New at 6:30 tonight. Attention golf enthusiasts. Local organization Hospice of Spokane is inviting dozens of golfers to the 22nd annual Scramble for Hospice golf tournament. That's next month. The director of development and communication with Hospice of Spokane says all proceeds from this fundraising event will go to help patients with a terminal illness and their families. She says this is a great opportunity to learn more about hospice care and support a great cause in our community.
We've been here serving families since 1977, helping folks understand what hospice care is and how valuable it can be to patients and families at end of life.
The organization says the event will be on August 4th at 8:30 a.m. The entry ticket costs $150, which will cover greens fee, cart, lunch, and prizes. And there are still a few slots available to sign up. You can find more information on our website, KXLY.com.
New at 6:30, still a long road ahead, but the Geiger Corrections Facility could be retiring if voters say yes to 2 new jail facilities in November. 2 county commissioners wanted to see the vote deferred to next year, citing the need for more community input and more details as to where the rest of the money will be spent. If passed, the measure would generate $1.7 billion in revenue over the course of 30 years.
The county would receive $1 billion. $700 million of that would go toward towns and cities, and it would raise sales tax by 0.2%. Our Vanessa Perez has the story.
The main jail is overcrowded and correctional staff can't do their jobs safely. Voters will decide if more jail beds are coming to Spokane County. NAACP President Curtis Robinson says the initiative is vague and has major concerns.
It's not that we don't need a new building. We probably do, but our people need services first.
Robinson believes county commissioners who support the initiative have failed to address the root causes for years.
When we start pouring into the community and provide the resources that they have been crying out for historically all this time, then that will naturally curb the amount of people that are coming into engagement with the criminal justice system.
Some commissioners wanted to defer the jail tax vote to next year, but that idea was shot down.
In order to get the community input,
around what is it that we want to do to make our system better, and how much money are we willing to spend.
The proposal would use about half of the $1.7 billion to add the 2 new facilities. Waldrop says there's no plan as to how exactly the rest of the money will be spent.
There's enough jail space for about 700 people between this downtown location and the one in Geiger. Sheriff John Knowles says there has been plenty of times where it's been over capacity. He believes this expansion will lead to a safer community.
Probably within 1 or 2 years after that jail opens, we will see a significant change in the way our communities look. I think we can have a significant impact on crime. I think we can have a significant impact on recidivism locally.
While some believe new facilities are the answer, others say investments should be made to address the core issues. Reporting in Spokane, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Around the Northwest in Seattle, 2 activists have made a nearly 200-year-old tree their home in protest of its removal to make way for 6 units of housing. The activists say the tree should be saved because of its size, age, and history.
Will not let anyone kill this tree.
Right now, legally, they're allowed to cut it down as early as Friday, which obviously will be really tragic if they try, considering that there's human beings up there.
As the days go on, more signs appear there on the fence, and more people are stopping to see the tree, and the activists sitting day in and day out to make their voices heard.
We are nearly a month away from the college football season, where Washington State was picked to finish in the Pac-12. That's coming up in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
ABC News, honored for excellence with 41 Emmy nominations, the most of any news organization anywhere. Thank you for making ABC News America's #1 news.
From the very beginning, we've been taught safety is very important. It's an act of love. When we're on the road, every action we take gets everyone to a safer place. Each of us can make a difference. Slow down. Ride sober. Get endorsed. Get training. Alone we are strong. Together we are stronger. And together we get there.
Summer fun means more time outside. It also means more of the outdoors on your floors. Sand, snow, spills, pets, and kids. Great Floors has the perfect flooring for your life. Choose from a large selection of gorgeous flooring built to last in every season. In July, shop exclusive savings on Mohawk Redwood and Paradigm waterproof flooring. Plus 12-month 0% financing. Visit a showroom today and live life on Great Floors.
As state senator, Lisa Brown increased taxes by $2 billion while raising her own pay. Under her watch, homelessness rose by 25,000. Now she's backed by the Defund the Police crowd. Lisa's soft on crime, hard on taxpayers.
I pledge to increase police presence and tackle homelessness, and we have. Our Violent Crimes Task Force has lowered crime rates, and we're compassionately addressing homelessness. We're exceptional, Spokane. I'll keep it that way. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message.
Welcome to the Summer Roundup this week at Cal. Over 300 rigs have been strategically priced low, and $44 down is all you need.
We're not horsing around with these special buys.
This week at the Cal Superstores in Airway Heights, Spokane, and Coeur d'Alene.
Let's check in with our friends in Phoenix. This is why so many people come up to the inland Northwest to spend the winter. It has been unrelenting and will continue to be. Today, 119 degrees, the second day in a row. The daily record was 114, so shattering the previous daily record that was set back in 1978. And more impactfully, that is the 21st consecutive day of 110 degrees or higher. The record has already been broken. It was 18 days. And the 7-day forecast calls for temperatures of 115 or above. So we're just going to keep breaking this record, they, not we, day after day after day in Phoenix. The heat is not confined to the desert Southwest. Here's our excessive heat warnings are in pink, and there are many locations under excessive heat warnings as far north as the Salt Lake area. We have a heat advisory in effect for the LC Valley for today and tomorrow. Here's a look at our temperature trend then out 8 to 14 days. The focus of the extreme heat is going to be shifting to the east, parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana. We are still in the orange in the inland Northwest, so above average temperatures for us will continue, although we are going to get a little bit of a dip briefly next week. Below average precipitation during that time period. That is the driest time of the year, so that is taking, if we have 2 pennies, they're just taking away one of our pennies. We're still broke regardless, but the monsoonal flow bringing up some moisture at least into parts of the desert Southwest. Hopefully that will cool things down a little bit. Meanwhile, here are 4 things to know about your weather. It's going to be sunny and hot tomorrow. We've got some breezy afternoons coming up through the weekend. Any fire starts that we happen to get can spread very rapidly with those afternoon winds. We'll stay in the 90s through Sunday, have a brief cool down, no sign of rain in our forecast. Here is your planning forecast. Staying in the 90s through Sunday, 98 tomorrow. Breezy conditions in the afternoons, but then we're going to see our winds pick up a little more substantially Monday and Tuesday, and that could be even more concern for firefighters. But we're also going to be cooling down a little bit. Temperatures in the lower 80s, actually a bit below average on Tuesday and Wednesday. Then we're going to start warming right back up again. Aaron?
Thank you, Chris. Well, if you're not careful in the hot weather, you may be at risk of heat sickness or heat stroke. Spokane Fire says if you're starting to experience heavy sweating, pain, or muscle cramps without proper treatment, those symptoms could progress into something more serious.
If it has progressed where you're no longer sweating, that is a true emergency.
Spokane Fire says drinking alcohol in the heat can increase your risk of heat sickness. If you start to feel confused and lose consciousness, that's the sign of heat stroke. Then call 911 immediately.
To help people beat the heat, the Spokane Parks Foundation is hosting free pool parties. The first one is tomorrow night at the Liberty Aquatic Center from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and there will be free food and fun for all. The other is on August 4th at Hilliard's Aquatic Center. And that's part of the Parks Make a Splash program that hopes to remove financial barriers so kids can learn to swim and enjoy their summers safely.
And here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Water is an essential part of our everyday lives. It's important that Spokane acts wisely to preserve our precious water resources and not waste money on evaporation and the need for supplemental water infrastructure due to a burdened aquifer. Please avoid watering your lawn between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and limit watering to under 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. If we all do our part, we'll keep our river flowing strong, even in times of drought.
Appliance Recycling and Wholesale has reliable, attractive, and affordable home appliances. Huge selections of brands and models fully refurbished. If you're on a fixed income, have a student headed to college, manage properties or rentals, then you will want to visit Appliance Recycling and Wholesale. Their reconditioned appliances are not only lower cost, but also environmentally friendly. They constantly strive to incorporate green practices in all their operations. Appliance Recycling and Wholesale, serving Spokane for over 2 decades on Sprague, just west of Freya.
Connect with a friend. Connect with a muse. Connect with nature. Connect with summer and find what it holds for you in the off-road ready Mazda CX-50. Uncover what lies ahead during Mazda's Season of Discovery sales event.
Discover nature's most unique adventures in a Mazda CX-50. Available for immediate delivery at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
Get $200 with a new checking account from Horizon Credit Union. We're here to guide you towards your dreams and put some extra cash in your pocket. Sign up in branch or online with the Get200 promo code today.
She was looking so fine.
Where's the butler?
It's John Butler.
Hate being judged by your name? So do we. At Consigned Furniture and Jewelry, we're not what you think. Our inventory is the best in the Northwest. Like this, and this, and this. Check out the most unique shopping experience in the universe.
Summertime at Live.
Can I buy that one?
Yeah.
That's delicious.
Next Live, Bethany Frankel.
Watch Live tomorrow at 9, right after GMA.
4 News Now is brought to you by Perfection Tire.
I let the emotions get the best of me, and I let them down.
Seattle Mariners outfielder Jarred Kelenic couldn't hold back the tears in his pregame press conference this afternoon. Kelenic broke his foot kicking a water cooler following a strikeout in the 9th inning of Wednesday's loss. Kelenic was placed on the 10-day injured list and left yesterday's game in a walking boot. Tough loss for a Mariners team in the middle of a playoff hunt. Teoscar Hernandez trying to pick up the slack against the Minnesota Twins here in the series finale, and Hernandez brings home a run here with the base hit. Seattle takes the early lead. Now in the 4th inning we go. Hernandez once again, and this time he hits it out of the ballpark. His 16th home run of the year makes it 2-0 Mariners. Now to the 8th inning we go. Mike Ford for Seattle crushes it, bounces off the press box in right field. That one's a home run, and George Kirby was magnificent on the mound for the Mariners in this one as well. Seattle blanks Minnesota 5-0. The Mariners welcome in the Toronto Blue Jays now for a 3-game series starting tomorrow. Now, you know it's not college football season until you get those first rankings and predictions. Well, today is that day. The Pac-12 preseason poll has been released. Washington State was picked to finish 7th in the conference this season. The Cougars finished 7th last season on their way to a 7th straight bowl game appearance. USC was picked to win the Pac-12 this year. Washington was picked to finish 2nd, followed by Utah, Oregon, and Oregon State, rounding out the top 5. The Women's World Cup is officially underway. Team USA doesn't kick off until tomorrow, and the expectations are as high as ever. The United States are the favorites heading into the tournament. Team USA features 9 players who were members of the 2019 World Cup Championship team. This includes Megan Rapinoe, who will be playing in her final World Cup. The team also has 14 players making their first World Cup appearance, including Washington State Cougar Trinity Rodman. It all gets started Friday when the U.S. takes on Vietnam.
The energy is high. It's there, just like 4 years ago. Obviously, it's just way different personnel, different coach. But I feel like as you land in the host country and you prepare for a World Cup, you got, some nerves and some just anticipation.
The nerves are still kind of there and the excitement. There's nothing quite like that, and it only comes every 4 years, so it's a nice little treat every time.
Now, Team USA kicks off against Vietnam at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And that'll wrap us up for sports.
Thanks, Julian. Around the nation tonight, former President Donald Trump is expected to be issued another indictment as soon as tomorrow.
Earlier this week, Mr. Trump received a letter notifying him he was the target of special counsel's investigation into efforts to overturn the 2020 election. ABC's Justin Finch has more on some of the charges Trump could be facing.
In Washington, a grand jury convening behind closed doors once again. Sources telling ABC News the panel is hearing from witnesses, including former Donald Trump aide William Russell, who worked in his White House. Russell previously testified before the grand jury. Trump now preparing for another federal indictment that could come as soon as Friday on the most serious charges a U.S. president has ever faced. Allegations that he tried to overturn his 2020 election loss to Joe Biden, which came to a head in deadly violence at the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Sources familiar tell ABC News that Trump and his team were expecting special counsel Jack Smith to write a report, but were surprised that Smith's office sent Trump a target letter.
I didn't know practically what a subpoena was and grand juries and all of this. Now I'm like becoming an expert.
ABC News has learned Trump has hired attorney John Lauro, who has represented other January 6 defendants, to focus on his defense in this probe.
For talking to sources close to him, there's a real fear in a sense that they don't have enough legal firepower.
On the presidential campaign trail, his Republican opponents divided on whether they would pardon Trump as president.
To have a former president that's almost 80 years old go to prison, that is not good for this country.
You don't fix a broken justice system by continuing to give people passes based upon whatever their political party is.
The charges Trump could face are not yet clear, but ABC News has learned the target letter referenced federal laws, including conspiracy to defraud the U.S. and witness tampering, which could also involve obstruction of justice. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Global Credit Union got its start right here at Fairchild Air Force Base and now has branches worldwide. We're proud to honor our military members by wearing red on Fridays.
Red stands for Remember Everyone Deployed, and 4 News Now is joining Global by inviting you to wear red on Fridays too.
Show your support for the men and women of our armed forces. Tell them and their families thank you for your service and for protecting our future.
Stop by any Global branch and pick up a red pin.
And then remember to wear red every Friday from now until September 11th.
I'm Mark Peterson with information from AARP and BECU. Caring for a loved one comes with a lot of emotional and financial responsibility. Having a clear picture of what's involved, whether it's your care recipient's health, housing, or finances, lets you plan ahead and make the juggling act a little easier. There are programs in Washington that will help you navigate these challenges and make things easier for you and your care recipient. AARP and BECU are here to help you plan. For tips, tools, and resources, visit this website.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader.
Drinking watermelon moonshine.
Oh, Lord, when it rains, it pours. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
You heard what the doctor said, right, Dad? These pain meds, they're no joke. And this? It's an opioid. They can be very addictive.
But I need my strong pain medicine.
I know, Dad, I understand. Just make sure you only take what the pharmacist said. And keep it in this locking bag from the pharmacy so it's away from the kids.
Yeah. I hear you.
I'll put this in the locking bag.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Protect the people you love from opioid misuse. Lock up your medication.
Looking for high quality and low prices? Then Furniture Row's Super 7-Day Sale is for you. That's 7 days where everything is on sale. Shop today and find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, accent chairs and recliners, dining groups, bar stools, bedrooms and kids' beds, mattresses, and sleep accessories. Plus, no interest financing until January 2027. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. But don't wait. The Super 7-Day Sale at Furniture Row ends Thursday the 20th.
Can this white paint help solve the heat dome crisis? Next, Inside Edition.
You had to actually wear sunglasses?
Yeah. The paint that is beyond white. It's ultra white.
We could see substantial savings, upwards of 10 to 20%.
Wow. Then, you've heard of Cocaine Bear. What about Cocaine Shark?
That's unusual behavior.
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
Our high today was 97 degrees. We've hit that temperature 3 times so far this summer, but that's as warm as it's gotten. We're going to be a little warmer than that tomorrow. 86, however, is our average high. We started the day off at a warm 63. 59 is our average overnight low. Sunset tonight is at 8:39, and that will be welcome. We'll be cooling down. Tomorrow, a high of 89 degrees. It is going to be a bit breezy in the afternoon with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. And then we're going to stay in the 90s through the weekend, but it is cooling down. That 82 is looking pretty good.
I think you can handle those kind of temperatures when you know there's some relief on the way. It's harder to deal with that if it was going to be like 90s from tomorrow all the way through next week.
A light at the end of the tunnel there.
Yes.
Exactly.
And a cool down at night. Very nice.